Hi there, it's Lane again and welcome back to another video. This is video 16 in our how to use Canva tutorials, and today we're going to make a social media post to match your brand. Now in a previous video we made a brand kit which is going to help massively in doing this. I've opened up an Instagram sized canvas to use today, and I'm going to upload a quote that I found on Google. Now, to find inspirational quotes is not hard. You just type in the sentiment you're looking for on Google, such as strong woman, and then add the word quote and find something you like. And we're going to use this as the basis of our social media post today, but make sure that if you use a quote, you always credit it to the source that you found it. This one here has the source on it, so when I copy the text, I shall also copy where this quote came from. And we're just going to make this into our brand colors. Now, when posting to social media, if you have a brand, it is really important that all of your posts match your brand or look complementary towards your brand. So that's what we're doing today. We're just going to turn this simple quote into a Lean and Lou brand sort of happy version of this quote. So I'm going to type it out here. I'm not really caring about the font and size right now. I'm just copying the quote. And yes, I am aware there is a spelling mistake right at the start. I fix it very soon. I'm just going to copy down the quote. And then I'm going to drag it up, fix the spelling mistake, and resize it. Okay, so that's the main part of my quote, and now I'm going to go and find that little dedication here as to where it came from, and I'm going to make a text box for that too. Don't just take quotes without crediting where they came from. That is so not on in the business world. Just make sure when you find a quote, you know exactly what the source is. So I'm going to change my font here to match our brand kit font for Lean and Lou. I'm going to resize it as well, and I'm going to add the source of our quote in a separate text box down here, just to make sure I don't forget to do it. And then once I've done this and I've taken everything I can off the little image that I used to help me create this social media post, I'm going to delete that image. It was there purely so I could copy the contents of it. Okay, so I'm going to resize my font, and this step is really about how your brand looks, how you normally like your things to be cohesive. Lane and Lou like to keep things pretty simple. We like to just post a pretty basic background with our little Lane and Lou logo, so that's what I'm going to do here, but this will depend entirely upon the brand that you have going or that you're trying to build, and will obviously be tailored to whatever your needs are. So I'm just going to play around a little bit with the fonts and the colors until I feel that I'm happy that that is a good strong font that is easy to read when it's posted on social media. And the reason I'm using the Instagram palette, the canvas here, is because Instagram is the square one which will fit Facebook and Twitter and usually most other social media without adjusting them. So I've just added our little Lean and Lou there. I'm going to add our name, Lean and Lou, in a font. As you can see, it's just pure basic and simple. I'm just moving things around until I'm happy. And that's pretty much what making social media posts on Canva is. Moving things around, getting all the things from your brand kit, just making it look pretty, keeping it readable too. You want your post to have an instant impact. Now, to make it a little bit more polished, I'm adding texture here. So I find a textured background, I overlay it, and I turn down the transparency until you can see through it while still retaining texture, and then I move it to the back. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. I'm just going to fiddle with the positioning and the size of the fonts. I feel like there's too much black in this image, which is a visual eyesore, so I'm going to mess around with some of the font colors here to see what looks best, still sticking within my brand theme palette. So I decided there was a huge big empty space there, so I'm going to go and look in corners, and I found this little paper corner here. I'm going to resize it and stick it down just to balance out the Lean and Lou on the other side to make it a little more interesting. So it looks like the corner of my quote is upturned. And then I think lastly, I'm going to try some of the effects on the font, but I realise that all of them look kind of wishy-washy and I prefer the clean look. But I'm just showing you here, there's lots you can do with your fonts to mess around with them and make them more you. Once you develop a style in which you create your social media posts, there's something that you can stick to with every post you make. I'm just bringing down the colour of the lean and loose so it's not as in your face as the quote. I want the quote to be the thing that stands out, and I'm making that match just for cohesion. And there we go, I have my little social media post. I'm going to save it as a PNG. It took me a couple of minutes. It doesn't take away from the original quote, and I can go straight to Instagram. As you can see, I can go to create, select from computer, and my download should be there as a PNG. Fits perfectly, looks great. I can post it to our Instagram. Just add a hashtag here. Normally I'm not as lazy as this, but this is just for the video. And pop it on Instagram. Now this little social media post will now be all posted onto my Facebook, and there we go. We have created a brand cohesive post in just a couple of minutes, and I hope that was helpful. We will see you in the next video.